Have you ever wondered how they create those lovely meals at five-star hotels and restaurants that always seem like a hassle to make? Well, I'm gonna show you how basic, simple ingredients that's always available in your local supermarket to create five-star cuisine in the comfort of your own kitchen. Plus, with my Asian background and my international culinary skills, I love to play around with ingredients and mix and match flavors to create a whole new exciting fusion cuisine. I'm Chef Roland and welcome to my home. Come and join me as I fire up some exciting dishes in five-star cuisine. So let's get cooking. Today, I'm going to prepare two exquisite dishes. To start off for the appetizer, I'll be making a pan-fried poached egg served on a bed of roasted vegetable salad with a GCA mayonnaise. I'll explain to you later what exactly that means. And for your entree, I'll be making a unique spice-crusted salmon. If you're adventurous with flavor, I bet you'll love this dish. So let's start off with the poached eggs. Have you ever tried the poached eggs before? A fried poached egg for that matter. Well, I learned this dish from the international cruise line that I work on. And plus I added some personal touches to it, obviously. Okay, so to start off with a regular poached egg, okay, you always have a nice pot of simmering water, and to that I'll be adding some plain, you can either use white wine vinegar or white vinegar or any flavor for that matter. The vinegar will actually help it for the egg whites to hold its shape. So I'm just adding a little bit. You'll know just by tasting, you get the slight vinegar taste, then you know it's enough. Okay, that should do. So the water is nicely simmering, okay? Do not bring it to the boil too much, okay? So I've got my eggs here, but let me just grab some ice water, because as soon as you finish cooking, you need to chill it down straight away, just to stop the cooking process. Just some ice. Okay, just filling up with some water. In goes your egg. I'll make two, just in case, if one breaks or no. Okay, that should take maybe approximately 4 minutes or so to cook. Okay, while that's cooking, so what we're gonna do is as soon as the eggs are cold, we're gonna crumb it. It's called pane in French. So basically what it means is to crumb the item that you want. So all you need is a bowl of flour, a bowl of beaten eggs, and a bowl of breadcrumbs. And what I made here is some fresh white breadcrumbs, which I've taken the crust off and just put it through a food processor. And I need some that should do. And to these breadcrumbs, I'm going to add some parsley to it. It helps with the flavor, and it also gives some color. All right, so I'll add this to the breadcrumbs. There you go. Okay, so once the egg is done, just quickly pick it up and into your ice water. So just let the egg cool down completely. So leave it for 2 minutes, okay? So once it's cold, just pat it dry. This is what you get when the eggs are poached, okay? It's still soft on the inside, but the egg whites are quite firm. So your flour, your egg, and your breadcrumbs with parsley in it. So dip it in your flour, coat it with your egg, and final step, your white breadcrumbs. Try to keep one hand dry so you can use it for your breadcrumbs and use your other hand for your flour and your egg. There you go, that's your crumbed egg. All right. Okay, my roasted vegetable salad is basically a combination of a Greek salad and Italian panzanella salad, with my own touches, obviously. So, things that you need are peppers, bell peppers. Okay, so I've got a beautiful red bell pepper here. Maybe one green pepper, some cucumber. I've got some lovely cherry tomatoes. And to add a different twist to it, I'll be adding some button mushrooms, all right? Like in all Greek salads, there will always be feta cheese. And finally, some herbs. So I've got some beautiful fresh basil here. Oregano, you can either use fresh or dry because the flavor is equally strong. Okay, over here I've got some nice green olives. And for the dressing that I'll be making with this is some balsamic vinegar and usually some red wine vinegar, but today I'll be using a raspberry flavored instead. And some olive oil. Okay, so I've got some leftover baguette here that I'll be using. It's a bit old, stale, so it's a little bit hard, but that doesn't matter. So you can use any old bread just for the real thing. Okay, so I'll probably need just half of it, it's fine. Your button mushrooms, maybe just cut it into strips. And your cucumber, this is a baby English cucumber, this is. And then just dice it up into small little pieces. Okay, so for the bell pepper, the mushrooms, and I'll also add some red onions to it. This stuff over here is gonna be roasted. Let's give it a quick wash. Alrighty. Okay, just dice up some onions. Alright. So these stuffs are gonna be sauteed. So these are the stuff that's going to be cooked, okay? And the stuff which is raw, I'll just toss it into this bowl. For your baguette, what I'm going to do is just cut it into and your feta cheese. Same thing again, just cut it into small little cubes. That should be enough. There you go. Okay, so I've got my peppers, I've got my red onions, my mushrooms, my baguette, feta cheese, cucumbers, cherry tomatoes, fresh basil. I'll just pluck the leaves. Okay, and I'm going to use some dried oregano. There we go. And for my dressing, I'll be using some sugar and these 3 ingredients that I told you about. And in you go. Okay, so cook it on a very high heat. I got a little piece of baguette in there. What you need is a nice golden brown in color. If it's a little charcoal blackish, it doesn't matter. It adds on to the flavor. So just toss it around. Let it cook for a minute or so. Feta cheese, I'm gonna add the rest of the mix. And same with the baguette. And your basil. I'm just going to roughly chop it up. It doesn't have to be perfect. Beautiful. Let's see how our peppers are doing. Beautiful. So I'll just add a little seasoning to it now. So some freshly ground black pepper. Okay, touch of seasoning. I'll always tell my chefs at work, love what you make and always season your food and taste your food. It doesn't matter if you taste it 10, 20 times, but as long as you taste it, if you're happy with it, then you definitely know your customers will be happy. A little bit more salt just for luck. So now our onions, peppers, and mushrooms, yeah, look at it. They're nice, beautiful, and golden brown. Okay, so that's done. So what I'm going to do to this is add it to the rest of your mix. Okay, put it all together. Doesn't that just look so beautiful? All right, so now I'm going to make my dressing for the salad. So what I've got here is some balsamic vinegar. I just love this stuff. You can use any vinegar for that matter, just whatever you have available. And here I've got some raspberry vinegar. You can also use red wine vinegar if you have, but I love raspberry vinegar. It's got a very beautiful sweet raspberry taste to it, so a bit of that. So the normal ratio that I used to do is 1 part of vinegar to 2 parts of oil. So now some olive oil. Okay, some dried oregano. Some sugar. It depends on how strong your vinegar is. So the sugar helps to actually balance it out. There goes your garlic. Let me get a whisk. Right, just look at that. So I'm just gonna season it a little bit more. My salt and pepper. Look how beautiful that looks. Let me just have a quick taste. Excellent, excellent. Okay, so I've got my salad here and my dressing. All you have to do now is combine it together. So in you go. Look at that. Okay. And give it a good mix. Okay. All those beautiful ingredients, beautiful color. Okay, now that is done. Our eggs are done. We just have to pan fry it, and I'll show you a beautiful way to present it. GCA practically means garlic, capers, and anchovies. Okay, I learned this from my cruise line as well. So you can actually use it for many dishes, even for your pasta, for your fish dish, for your soups even. It goes very, very well. Homemade mayonnaise over here. Mayonnaise is very easy to make. Okay, all you need is some egg yolk, mustard, whisk it up together, and gently pour in your oil so till it emulsifies. That's all it is. A touch of vinegar or lemon juice just to add on to the flavor, and it actually keeps it white. Okay. Capers, just a few pieces, that should do. Anchovies from a tin. So I'm just going to use one little piece. Okay. So all you have to do is just chop all the ingredients together. You know what? I'm actually going to add some scallions into it, or also known as spring onions. Okay, that will give it a little Asian touch to it. There you go, nice beautiful long spring onions. You don't need too much, maybe just a little bit of it. Okay, just very finely slice it up. Grab a teaspoon. Remember, the anchovies is already salty, so do not over season it. Look at that. So this is gonna go on top of your fried poached egg. It's gonna add on to the flavor. Okay, there you go. We've got all our items here. We've got a beautiful salad here. We've got our GCA mayonnaise right here. And all I need is a lettuce. Okay, I thought of using an alfalfa sprouts today. Alfalfa is basically one of the sprout family. It's beautiful. This one is organically grown. So basically it's going to give you a nest effect. Okay, it's going to go on the base. I'm going to put my vegetable salad on top, and I'll top it up with the fried poached egg. So, got the beautiful I know the plate is big, but it's for home use, so I don't care. And then I'm going to top it up with the salad. You don't have to put too much, just whatever that you desire, but as long as it has a little bit of each ingredient on it. Okay. Just clean the sides up a little bit. Okay, let's see how our oil is doing. And in goes our poached egg. There you go. So just fry it till it's golden brown in color. Okay, so I just flipped it over now. Just take a look at the beautiful color. All the parsley around it and the golden brown from the breadcrumbs is just fantastic. It doesn't take long to fry, probably just a minute or two. Okay, I'm going to turn off the heat. Okay, lovely. So I'm just going to put extra cherry tomatoes around it, just for the extra color. Some olives, so you get every single ingredient seen. Okay, lovely. And last but not least, your GCA mayonnaise. Okay, I'm just going to spoon a little bit on top. What five-star establishments or even cruise line, what they normally used to do is they play around with oils and reductions. So what I've done beforehand, I've made a balsamic reduction, a sun-dried tomato oil, and also a herb oil. Okay, all these three items, you can prepare it in advance. It's very easy to make. Okay, balsamic reduction, if you have a look at this, all I've done is use my regular balsamic vinegar into a pan and just reduce it right down until it becomes a syrupy consistency. And you just cool it down, that's all it is. And my herb oil is basically mixtures of parsley, thyme, rosemary, and chervil. Or you can use any herbs that you have and blend it up together in the blender with some olive oil. And what I've done is I use a muslin cloth or a coffee filter and you just let it drain through. What you get is a clear green oil. But what I've done here is I've added some of the blended herbs to it. So it gives a beautiful look to it. So it has a rough texture. And over here is a sun-dried tomato oil. Exactly the same thing. Okay, if your sun-dried tomato is dry, you just revive it in some hot water and then squeeze all the water out, olive oil, blender, and that's what you get. Okay, so for this dish, I'm just going to add some beautiful herb oil. It'll make a lot of difference, you see. So we're just going to drizzle it around the sides. There you go. Garnishing, you can play around with anything. I like to use chives because it gives a beautiful height to it. Okay, what we have here is a pan-fried poached egg on a nest of alfalfa sprouts filled with roasted vegetable salad, topped up with a GCA mayonnaise and some herb oil drizzle around it and garnish with some chives. There you go. Bon appetit. I bought this lovely fresh salmon from a local fishmonger this morning. Let me just get rid of this. The way that you check if a salmon is fresh, or any fish for that matter. Well, I didn't get a whole salmon to show you, so I got a small red carp, a smaller fish, just to show you exactly what I mean. Hello, fishy. I'm talking to a fish. Well, the first test is the nose test. You should not have a very strong fishy smell, okay? If it does, that means it's starting to deteriorate. Secondly, what you need to do is check the eyes. Okay, the eyes should be very bright and clear. If it starts to get cloudish, that means it's starting to get spoiled. And thirdly, check the gills. If you can come and have a look here, check the gills here.